heirs, and we are laughing because this has nothing to do with anything that we're going to talk about today. But behind me, if you look over here, something on my post back there makes me look like I have a pointed ear, and Amy's just been really laughing.
We have an elf in our midst.
Yes. So I'm going to try to stay away from that pole and stay over this way. But so today we're going to talk about adoption. And Amy's going to speak mostly today about this, but just not only with adoption with children, but also that we are adopted as God's children. And so she's going to speak a little bit about this today, but it's going to be really good for people who, have either been through adoption for children or are looking to adopt children.
So was in a situation where I was thinking about adoption and how it's meant so much to me, and how it's affected our family, and in more ways than one. And a part of my testimony is about how we adopted our son, and so thankful because every time I look back at that time, I think God just had his hand in the whole situation. So, but anyway, the good thing was that God heard our prayers. My husband and I had been trying for 2 years to have children, and just couldn't. And I just kept thinking, we came closer to going into fertility treatments. We met a doctor down in Panama City, and he was helping me to clear up an infection that I had no idea. And he had helped so many people, including Celine Dion, to get pregnant. And we thought that this was the road that God wanted us to take. And I remember the day I was calling him after I got better, and we were ready for fertility treatments. And I called, and the nurse said, he is no longer with us. He passed away. He had heart surgery and died during surgery. And that was devastation to us because we felt comfortable with this doctor. And it was a road to get even to the point of wanting to even consider fertility. And it's not like we had a lot of money or anything, but we were ready to invest in it. And so anyway, it just didn't work out. And so we went back to the drawing board, so to speak, and started praying. And so anyway, we felt led at that point to adopt. And so the best thing we could do was to tell people. And those people told people. And the next thing we know, somebody comes and tries to find us. But the neat thing about this was this is how God works. He works way before we even know. He's always at work, working out our daily prayers, working out our needs and our desires long before we probably even know what we need. But I remember going on a vacation with my friends, and they called me and said, "Hey, we're going to be late, and would you wait on us?" And I thought, sure. And so I sat down at the piano, and I started playing this tune, and all of a sudden I had this song laid out about God giving us a baby boy. And that song for 2 days, for 2 days on my vacation, was just planted in my head. And I kept thinking, okay, this is something further down the line. This is 2 years from now. We had just finished our adoption papers, got, approved and everything. And I thought this is going to be for later. But during those 2 days, that's all I could think about. And I was so unsteady in my soul. I just knew something was up, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And that song kept playing over and over in my head. So when I came back from vacation, my husband followed me upstairs, which he never does. And he said, hey, after you left, I got a phone call from somebody who's has a baby boy they want to give us. And I thought how precious that is. that God was preparing me beforehand with this news. And, we went through several months I went to the doctor with this young lady and got to know her and how precious that she was. And then we got to watch our son being born. Or I did. Doc did not. I did. But just how God's hand was in on everything, because even the doctor was my OBGYN who was on call that night that delivered our son. And so every little thing was taken care of. We were just so blessed. So God knows exactly what we want, and he prepares us for it. We may not even think about that, and he prepares for it. And I got to thinking about this, is that, to adopt is something deliberate. You make that decision because you want to love. To love. It's deliberate. It's a choice that you make. And we were so willing to take this child and to love him. And we wanted to give him the gifts that we had: our home, our love, our ministry, our friends, our family. It was all just going to be a gift for him. And I was thinking about that and how God's gift to us is such as that. I mean, it gives us the free gift of Jesus. And he says, this is all yours. And I think about that, how so many times we don't think of it as that. But I was looking at the scripture in Romans 8:14. I'm going to back up because I want this to kind of hit on. But it says, "For those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. The Spirit you received does not make you slaves, so that you live in fear again. Rather, the Spirit you received brought about your adoption to sonship." So here we have this child comes to our home. It is not, Cole was not lost. He was brought to us he was brought to us, was given to us because of love. The same thing God gives or adopts us into sonship, where we become, his family, his own. And we're given the same rights as what Jesus has. We're given that inheritance. And it goes on to talk about, it says that you receive sonship, and by him we cry, Abba, Father. And we know that Abba means daddy. We're given the right to say daddy, daddy. Just as, Christ said Father. And it goes on and it says, the Spirit testifies with our spirit that we are his children. We are definitely his children. He identifies with us. He knows us inside out. He knows how to speak to us, how to mentor, how to show his love to us. He knows all of that, and how important it is for us to understand that we are his. He is our Father. We are his daughters. We are his sons. And how important it is to act like that, Brandy. I mean, how does that, make you feel, knowing that you're a daughter of Christ? How does that how does that change your life?
It makes me feel very special, because that he wanted me before maybe even I knew that I wanted him.
Absolutely. In Psalms 139, it talks about how he knew you in your mother's womb. He saw your unformed frame even before it was even brought together and before it was meshed together. He saw you. He knows exactly how many hairs are on your head. He knew how to bring into existence the character of you, And so a lot of times we walk around feeling rejected, feeling like nobody cares, nobody wants me, but God does. God always wants us. He always cares for us. He always loves us. And how different if we would just have that mindset. You know, he's not about rejecting you. He is about taking you and loving you and showing you a better way. And I think a lot of times we reject him and what he wants to give us. There's so many people out there that don't know the truth of God's love and what that really means. But God says, he says this, now if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory. God has a better plan for you, and he wants to make you co-heir with Christ. And what he has is so much better than what we could ever afford, what we could ever have. It was a blessing for us to have Cole. Now Cole's out on his own, and we're thankful for that. You know, we prepared him for this life. He's still learning. You know, that brain is not fully developed yet, but God is working in his life. And so the things that we were able to impart to him about God from birth on up to this day, you know, has he always walked as knowing that he was a child of God? No. Have I? No. But, you know, I always look back. So I always think about, you know, times of our lives where God has been so faithful, just like this, where he gave us our son and how he did it, how he gave me the song. So I just wanted to encourage you today, especially people who, women who are trying, you know, to have babies or have another child because your arms are empty. You know, mine were empty. And I prayed, just as, like, I believe it was Hannah in the Bible, how she prayed and prayed and cried because her arms were empty. God blessed her. God blessed her with a child. And so God will hear you too. And it may not come in the form of adoption. It may not come in the form of having a child naturally. But I'll tell you the truth. God can place children in your life. I have children around me in my home that I have literally, I make ice cream for. I love these children. They're like my grandchildren. I love them when they're outside. I want to play with them. So God can put children in your life that you can love, and you can impart God's love to them. And so anyway, that's what I wanted to say today. You know?
Yeah, that's wonderful, Amy. That gives a lot of encouragement to people, not only in the way of adoption, but just giving you security in your own life and knowing that you have a father through God. And that's, you know, prayer is wonderful. Prayer is, you know, what should be first on your list, not, you know, a last resort. And just keeping a good relationship with God, and you know, his plan, like you said, is way better than what we can plan for ourselves. So
absolutely,
I think that's just a very good message to people that, you know, are searching today. And so did you have anything else to say, Amy? Or
no?
Okay,
that's enough.
That was beautiful. So as always, just subscribe to our channel and email us if you have any, you know, questions about today's message or any others. And we can't wait to see you next time. Bye.